The scene at the construction site was one of standard operation as crew members worked to level the concrete being poured onto an upper floor. Yet, under the immense dynamic load of the wet concrete and the operational weight, the temporary structural support reached its critical limit. In a chaotic instant, a large section of the slab and its reinforcement suddenly gave way and plummeted, taking the crew with the falling debris. This immediate failure forced workers to scramble, grasping for any remaining stable structure to avoid the collapse zone. This incident serves as an unyielding reminder. Load calculation and the integrity inspection of formwork and scaffolding are absolutely non-negotiable. Site safety demands rigorous engineering verification and an absolute adherence to physical limits to prevent these sudden and catastrophic structural failures. The scene at the construction site was one of standard operation as crew members worked to level the concrete being poured onto an upper floor. Yet, under the immense dynamic load of the wet concrete and the operational weight, the temporary structural support reached its critical limit. In a chaotic instant, a large section of the slab and its reinforcement suddenly gave way and plummeted, taking the crew with the falling debris. This immediate failure forced workers to scramble, grasping for any remaining stable structure to avoid the collapse zone. This incident serves as an unyielding reminder. Load calculation and the integrity inspection of formwork and scaffolding are absolutely non-negotiable. Site safety demands rigorous engineering verification and an absolute adherence to physical limits to prevent these sudden and catastrophic structural failures. At a worksite, employees were using a long metal slide, secured primarily by ropes, to quickly transfer live fish and water from a transport truck's tank to the holding area below. As the side gate of the truck was opened, the enormous, sudden surge of internal water pressure and weight instantly overloaded the makeshift system. The unanticipated dynamic force immediately snapped the supporting ropes, causing the entire metal slide structure to buckle and collapse. In a chaotic rush, hundreds of fish and a torrent of water spilled across the ground. This incident offers a clear, forceful lesson. When dealing with fluid loads or shifting cargo, static support is never enough. It is absolutely critical to utilize tension-rated, reinforced support systems and employ procedures that allow for gradual pressure equalization to prevent catastrophic equipment failure and loss of control. In a fitness center, a lifter was attempting a squat with a very significant amount of weight loaded onto a Smith machine. The execution began carefully, but during the ascent, the immense load overwhelmed the lifter's control, resulting in a sudden, catastrophic loss of balance. Unable to maintain the position, the barbell dropped suddenly, pinning the individual underneath the heavy weight. The immediate reaction from others nearby underscored the severity of the incident as they rushed to provide assistance and relieve the load. This event serves as a serious reminder that safety discipline must always supersede the pursuit of personal records in a gym environment. When undertaking challenging lifts, it is essential to ensure the safety stops are correctly positioned and that a reliable spotter is present and ready to intervene. Never underestimate the immense forces involved in heavy lifting. The incident unfolded as a pedestrian was standing directly behind a large parked truck, placing the individual squarely within the driver's critical rear blind spot. Without exiting the cab to verify the area or ensuring audible alarms were functioning, the truck driver began to reverse the vehicle. The sudden, unannounced movement resulted in the large truck making contact with the pedestrian, who had no opportunity to move away from the vehicle's path. This event serves as an urgent reminder of two non-negotiable safety rules. Drivers of large vehicles must always perform a complete visual check of the rear area or utilize a reliable spotter before initiating a reverse maneuver. Simultaneously, pedestrians must maintain situational awareness and never position themselves in the immediate proximity of a large vehicle, especially in its known blind zones. The scene showed an intersection where traffic had properly stopped for a red light, yielding the right-of-way to pedestrians crossing the road. However, safety protocols were shattered when a black sedan suddenly disregarded the signal, aggressively running the red light at speed. This reckless action resulted in an immediate and forceful collision with a pedestrian who was properly walking across the crosswalk. This incident is a powerful and stark warning that traffic laws are non-negotiable. Drivers must recognize that a momentary disregard for signals places human lives at extreme risk. Aggressive or distracted driving through an intersection, especially one with active pedestrians, represents a critical failure of responsibility and is a prime example of how quickly safety can be compromised by a single choice. The incident occurred within an active roadwork zone where a pedestrian was walking, seemingly unaware of the machinery operating immediately behind them. Simultaneously, the operator of a large road roller, or bulldozer, depending on the machine type, was reversing but failed to maintain adequate situational awareness of the path. Due to this critical lapse in attention from both parties, the reversing heavy machine made contact with the unsuspecting pedestrian. This event serves as a severe warning that vigilance is the bedrock of safety on any construction site. Personnel, both operators and pedestrians, must never assume a clear path. High visibility gear should be mandatory, and all heavy machinery must be operated with absolute caution, utilizing spotters and rear-view technology to eliminate dangerous blind zones. At a machinery sales or maintenance yard, a man was performing checks on a tractor. While standing near the controls, he initiated the engine. However, the machine suddenly engaged and moved forward without warning, resulting in a direct impact with the individual and causing him to be knocked to the ground. This incident highlights the paramount need for extreme caution when testing or starting heavy agricultural and industrial equipment. Before initiating any machinery, operators must always ensure the transmission is in neutral, the parking brake is securely set, and that no personnel are in the vehicle's immediate path. Even a momentary test requires full control and an absolute commitment to verifying the stability and position of all moving parts. The incident took place at a railroad crossing where a vehicle, in this case a truck, was maneuvering near the tracks. Despite the inherent dangers of the location, the driver's actions resulted in the truck being positioned in the path of the oncoming train. Unexpectedly, a locomotive approached at high speed, giving virtually no warning or chance for evasion. The powerful impact instantly destroyed the vehicle upon contact. This serves as a paramount safety warning. Railroad tracks are extremely high-hazard areas, and the speed of trains is often severely underestimated. Drivers must never attempt to cross or maneuver near tracks unless the crossing is completely clear and verified safe. This event underscores the absolute necessity of respecting all rail signals and waiting well clear of the tracks until all danger has passed. In a gym setting, an individual was attempting a heavy bench press without the assistance of a dedicated spotter. While the lifter successfully completed a number of repetitions, during the final effort, the weight exceeded the physical capacity, leading to a sudden and complete loss of control. Unable to rack the barbell or push it clear of the chest, the heavy bar dropped and settled onto the lifter's body. This event serves as a serious caution that heavy, high-risk lifting should never be attempted alone. Whenever engaging in pressing movements with challenging weight, lifters must ensure a reliable spotter is present and attentive, or strictly utilize a power rack with safety pins correctly set to prevent the load from descending past a safe point. Safety and strength training is non-negotiable,